I'm gonna hit you so hard you won't see nothing. Ever, 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 ever.
Audio skulls all day.
The lyric scientist lab.
And we just want to welcome you guys. Thank you for the small little bit of delay we had there.
It is what it is.
What?
We trying new shit. Well, I was streaming this week, and because I have to move the computer from place to place, it takes a little bit of effort to try to remember what the settings are. It's quick. It's just a test right now. It's nothing crazy. Just everybody relax on the new camera. It's just might not even last long, but
Yeah, we've got the third camera angle going on here, so you can see from the other perspective of the Mad Scientist
it's
Lab.
just some shit that we're testing right now because we've been wanting to get a third angle, but it's just been a rough go at it. But anyway, we're here now.
We're here. We're live. We're here to entertain the masses, as we do every Saturday night, live around 6:30 p.m.-ish on
Or
Twitch.
7 at this point.
Yeah, or tomorrow. That's okay. Hopefully everybody had a nice holiday, nice Christmas. Jared, hopefully you had a good one.
Everybody's here. Ghost Chips.
Yeah, what's up, Ghost Chips? What's going on, buddy?
G-Man.
G-Man.
Londa. Epic.
Oh, man.
Thank y'all for being here.
Yeah, got a full house. I like that.
Hope everybody had a good holiday. Well, we're halfway through. We're almost on the other side, I guess.
Yeah, we're almost there. Tomorrow being New Year's Eve and Monday being New Year's Day.
Londa, you talking about the Edwards fight? I think I saw it. I might have been a little twisted when it came on. I'm pretty sure I saw it. Yeah. It was a good fight.
No, but Christmas was great, man. Santa Claus came to town. Gotta love that guy. And you know what I've realized? As I've gotten older, why should we leave Santa Claus milk and cookies? We need to leave him chicken and beer.
I just saw a TikTok on all that shit recently, like where all that shit comes from.
You know what's crazy? If you could enlighten me on how that started.
I didn't like pay that hard of attention to it, but like the milk and cookies shit, basically all this stuff comes from like pagan rituals.
Oh God.
But yeah, like leaving the milk and cookies had something to do. I forgot what it was, but it's not like there's no reason for us to be leaving milk and cookies.
Yeah. So, but we're adults, and I feel he would appreciate chicken and beer, and so I left it out, and he took it. And thank you, Saint Nick. We can't wait to see you in another.
Wait, who took it?
Santa Claus.
That was you under the tree, motherfucker.
With what grease stains on my shirt,
Yeah,
dude.
putting fucking the presents under that you bought.
I'm gonna tell you something, man. I for the first time in probably several Christmases, I mean, legitimately, maybe 10 years, I got a gift that legit surprised me. I was shocked. I literally didn't know what to expect. I got the usual little bit of clothes stuff, you know, the socks, the good stuff. But then there was a box sitting there, and I was like, oh, who's this for? And they're like, oh, it's for you, RJ. Santa left it. And I was like, oh, Santa. You know, sorry, I have to pretend I'm 8 sometimes. And I don't act like that in front of my family. And if I did, I would never tell you. But anyway, so I open up this box, and lo and behold, Santa Claus has blessed the pizza man with a laptop and printer.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Yeah, I was about to be impressed until you said printer.
Yeah, well, I mean, you
Wait,
gotta print
what?
it. We need those MapQuest directions, my friend. You know, we really, really do.
This motherfucker said printer. I mean, it's finally you got a laptop.
Yeah, no, really, really nice. Got an HP. If you want me to tell you the specs on it, I didn't really look on it. I literally ripped it open.
The one thing you should be looking at is, I mean, no, it'd be rude to do that when you just got the gift. It would be rude to look at the specs on it.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, look at this shit. Like that.
No, and I will tell you, and I'll show it to you when we finish up the show, because I actually wanted you to check it out, and I want to make sure I take care of this thing the proper way, software-wise, so I know you're somebody who can definitely help me with that.
There's not much to do. Just don't go to fucking nasty sites.
I don't anymore. It's not good for your brain. But
I get you, Londa. Yeah, but he needs something. They're like, that doesn't matter what it is. He needs something. Like, I want to upgrade this one. It's the crazy part about it. I'm ready to upgrade this.
And so I was like, legit, like, oh shit! Like, it was the first. And I don't want to say I haven't gotten real Christmas gifts in the past.
That is a real Christmas gift.
It is a real gift.
It's something you've needed for a while.
Yes, and I was like literally shocked. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
I was.
Whoever gave you that, you got to fucking thank them wholeheartedly.
Yeah, well, yes, Saint Nick, and that's why we're from now on we're leaving them chicken and beer.
No, there you go.
Yeah, all right. So, but I did sit down with it for a little while, tinker with it. It's got so many cool things on it, and I like the mouse it came with. It's just nice style. It clicks really well. Obviously, that's what mouses do, but I just like the style of it.
You know, the strange thing is, because I got an Amazon gift card from work, and it wasn't. I kept looking. I was like, I want something. Like, do I want an iPad? I'm like, fucking, what's the point of an iPad? To be honest, I just ended up so I ended up buying, since I was going to start streaming again.
Yeah,
because I'm now in Prodigy RP.
Yeah,
I didn't get to say it last week, but I got my application got accepted to Prodigy RP, so I'll come check me out, son.
Yeah, Jared, give yourself a round of applause while we're at it. Yeah, and give yourself a round.
It's pretty hard to get in some of these fucking servers. Although two other servers, well, No Pixel, they opened up 4.0, so a lot of the major streamers and like role players from over the years went back over there, and then Onyx, which is another server that was from the developers of No Pixel, but they left. Whole fucking drama. That's what I want to make sure I stay out of in the RP world, is all the fucking side drama. I don't want nothing to do that. I'm just there to play the fucking game.
Yeah, they're man on a mission.
Yeah. So now Prodigy, a lot of people. There's a lot less people on there. It's like 100 short of what the server size is. But I feel like as long as people that come from the right places, like I come from watching some of the highest level guys do it. So it's like, and I'm in the chat, and then I'm friendly with the mods, and the mods are in that server too. So I think over time that it'll get built back up to something good as role players emerge from that server.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm glad. I was like, all right, got in. I don't have prio. I can work on that shit later, because they want you to pay for prio. Fuck that shit. It's like $200 for the highest level of prio.
Ooh, is that like a
month?
Oh, wow, dude, that's dude. If I'm paying $200 a month, that sounds like a car payment or a bill.
It's definitely a bill.
That's
and
not a subscription. That's a way of life.
But that's why I'm glad. That's why I'm glad I got in, and like out of 250, there's like the last couple of days I've been looking, it's like 150 like players on the server. But
I got you.
Whatever. So that's why we had the technical difficulties, because I was trying to get everything set up, the sound set up, and I still couldn't get the sound to come back from the game. I could hear it here in my headphones, but I couldn't get the game to come through to Twitch.
I got you.
So that's why all the fucking settings are fucked up for this. But anyway, so I ended up ordering a new keyboard and mouse.
Oh, nice.
Because like trying to play on this, like when the laptop's over here, but I'm on my fucking big monitor.
Yeah.
Like, so I need something that's right in front of me, and then I got a new mouse in there. It's like a gaming thing. It wasn't the most expensive.
There are some really cool mouse designs out there.
Well, yeah, I got all that, but it's got lights on it and shit.
Oh, nice.
And then I have my background kind of set up, and then this new setup with the camera. So that's gonna be cool.
I'm digging this.
But I got one of those LED lights that go in the corner that have lights on it.
Yeah.
So it'll be glowing in the background.
Oh, that's cool,
while the
man.
camera's on it. So like I'm trying. I'm out here. I'm trying to be a real streamer. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, big nuts around here, dragging them all over you bitch ass motherfuckers. Anyway, that is my 58th personality that I hide in my closet. Anyway,
oh yeah, we know.
Yeah. Anyway, the closet of doom. But I was just really cool. I was just very happy with what I got, and I was tinkering with it, and I was like, oh man, I can't wait to show this to Jared. And I actually didn't even want to text you. I got it. I actually wanted to show it to you to, I wouldn't say surprise you or anything like that.
Is it red? I feel like it's red.
No, it's silver. It's I mean, if it was red, I'd still be happy with it.
Yeah, no, I had did I have an HP before? Yes, I did. Well, it was a refurbished HP. The one before that was an Acer, like $100, but that was in like 2010. Didn't do very much and didn't last long. And then when we first started doing this again, actually no, when we first started doing this,
I know we've made a lot of upgrades since the
well, no,
conception
that's
of the
when I
show,
had the
yeah.
HP.
Yeah.
But the trying to edit video and render video was just too much work for that computer. So I had to upgrade, and then when I had a chance, and I was like, I got some money. First thing I'm gonna do is fucking upgrade this fucking computer.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a part of the process. It's a part of.
Now I want to upgrade this one, because then I can use this one for just streaming here, for Twitch, and then I can get one for streaming at home, like that's upgraded. That way, when new games come out, like GTA 6, I'll be ready. You know,
Oh, dude, I am. My body
with
is
the
like
4090 up in that bitch.
Dude, my body is like ready for that.
We're all ready.
Yeah, it's so great. And you know what? Since we're on the subject of GTA, recently, and I know we are super, super big Red Dead Redemption 2 fans.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, I've been finding, just because our phones are always listening, I've been just doing, doom scrolling like everybody else.
Oh, it's been bad lately for me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's, yeah. So, and we're going to get to that in a little bit. But I've been finding some just posts from Red Dead Redemption fan pages that are just popping up randomly.
Oh, yeah, I get them on TikTok.
And some of the screenshots these guys take of Arthur or whatever, and they're really, really good.
You know, the funny part is, that's linear thinking or parallel thinking, because I was watching something today, and I was like, I wonder what will be a good Arthur Morgan sound effect that we could add to the board. But everything that I found was kind of shitty, so I was like, I don't know.
I will look into that as well, because he's got some really good lines in there, but some of them are very morbid and sad. Some of the more gut-wrenching moments are...
No, a lot of it is that I kept hearing was mostly him talking to the fucking horse, which you can do that on your own every fucking time. I don't know. But what gave me the idea was this: it was a guy on a roof, two guys on a roof, and one was recording the other one. He was like, "Hey, Arthur, what do you think about so and so?" He was like, "I don't know." He just made the voice.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, "I don't know about Blackwater. Where's that money?"
Yeah.
Like, it was just, I was like, "Oh, that shit." Actually, you know what? Are there any actual like sounds that would be cool for us to use on the show by Arthur Morgan?
I think we can do some digging. There's probably endless pages of dialogue.
We're gonna have to play the game and fucking find some
and
good
so
stuff.
that led me to this. And then I was reading some of the comments under it. I was like, you know what? Me and Jared talk about this so much. Let me see what other people have to say about it legitimately.
Yeah.
And everybody's just like, oh, this is Rockstar's greatest character ever, and they are
greatest game so far ever.
Yes, I agree with that, and he is the greatest
Because
character.
people forget about the details of that game that you don't know unless you pay attention. And again, I get a lot of those on TikTok where it'll say, you're like, these are details that you may not have known. And it's like the wildest shit. Like there's one that if you shoot an arrow next to a lamp and the lamp is casting a shadow, you can see the arrow hit the whatever and bounce. The shadow will bounce on it'll move with the arrow.
Yeah,
in the background.
It's crazy, the little things that we overlook because we get so immersed in this stuff.
Yeah.
And everybody just had nothing but praise about it. And so here, very shortly, very, very shortly, and I know I am going to be replaying through that entire game because...
Well, I would tell you, your new PC probably won't run that.
That's okay because, oh man, I'm going to show you a lot of cool stuff. But I'm going to dive back into that because it is something that I haven't played through the full thing since I've beaten it the first time, believe it or not. Everything I've done has been, after the game has ended, side quests and stuff like that. I want to relive that experience again. And so I'm going to be doing that here shortly, maybe to even kick off the new year.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm kind of playing through it again. I talked about it a couple of weeks ago, but I just haven't had the mood. I've been trying to motivate myself to role play, and that's harder. I don't want to say harder. It is harder because I not only have to basically perform, I have to play the game. So I'm doing two things at one time.
Yeah. And anybody that plays video games with me, they'll tell you that I cannot multitask while I game.
Yeah, it's fucking difficult. One thing I think now we're going to check your fucking specs and we're going to figure this out. I think we need to fucking play Ready or Not finally.
I got some cool stuff, man, and I was just like so happy. Yeah, dude, I was sitting there and then
You just glossed over Ready or Not. Like,
no, hold
guys,
on.
if you don't know what Ready or Not is, Google it or just wait till I stream it. That fucking game is wild. It just came out. The full version just came out. It's been out for like 2 years, but the full version just came out like last month or something.
So, and I wasn't glossing over it. I was just saying, like, if I can play that with you on that thing, then by all means, why not?
You should. We'll see.
So since we're on the subject of Red Dead Redemption 2, I went to one of my favorite places to go for lunch this week. I stopped by Bozelli's. I haven't been there in a while.
So I haven't either. It's expensive now.
It is. And so it was like Wednesday, it was lunchtime, and I was like, you know what? Let me go down to Bozelli's. And I went down there, and the same guy that's always in the counter in the location I go to, I was like, hey, man, how have you been? How was your holiday? He was like, great. And, I'm waiting for them to prepare my food. So I was just talking to him. And I was like, hey, man, you playing anything? Because he looks like, somebody that would fit that profile of a gamer.
Unfortunately, we all look the same because we don't get out much.
Yeah, well, I don't think this guy does either. But he's always very, very polite to me. Always great customer service, too. So I was like, hey, man, what are you playing? And he was saying, I play PC. And he was bringing up some games I've honestly never heard of. And I can't remember. It was like War something, and it's not Warframe. It was something else. But anyway, I was like, hey, have you a
mobile game type thing?
No, it's some sort of PC game. I don't know. I'll have to jumble my brain. But I was like, hey, have you played Red Dead Redemption 2? And he's like, oh man, I hated it. And I was just like, whoa.
Actually, no, I have heard. That came up on some chat that I was in this week, and some people were like, it was boring, or it was slow in the middle, and this, that. I'm like, I think you guys just don't appreciate the magnitude of the game.
No, they don't. And I was like, so my initial reaction question was like, hey, why didn't you like it? Because when people say things like that to me, it sounds like, Charlie Brown's teacher. Womp, 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 womp. Yeah, that's what it was sounding like. He was like, he said, I prefer games that are a little more arcadey in style. He said, the game is too realistic for me. He was like, with taking care of my character and my stamina and feeding him and eating him to replenish and all that stuff. And I was like, hey, they're just trying to add layers on top of what already has been,
Okay, so this is where gaming style comes into play.
Yeah. And so
hold on. I'm not done.
Never thought you were, Jared.
No, I'm not. I'm thinking and talking at the same time. I think that, yeah, because like when you say you'll be like, oh, play this game, blah blah blah, and I'm like, nah, I don't think. I think I like more realistic games, like Ready or Not, or Red Dead Redemption 2, or GTA, to some extent Call of Duty. I think, I'm not gonna lie, I think multiplayer kind of killed that for me.
Yeah.
Just because I like the stories and the detail put into developing a game.
Yeah, no, and you're 100% right. Call of Duty is one of those. Well, it is one of those modern things that is recycled year in and year out.
It's like art for me.
Oh, it is art.
I know it is. Trust me, I fucking went to school for this shit. Yeah, it's art, and I like to appreciate masterpieces, I guess.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is.
Like Valorant is not a masterpiece. That is a fucking thrown together fake ass Fortnite.
Yeah,
and Fortnite is too gamey for me. It's too arcadey. Exactly.
Yeah.
So he probably liked art. He probably likes
So
that shit.
I ran a couple other games that I've been playing recently.
Buy him?
Yeah, just buy him. And I was like, hey, because what I did this past week is I started Alan Wake 2.
I did see that.
Which is, so far, I'm really enjoying it. But I said, hey, have you ever played the original Alan Wake? He said, no, I hated it. And
a lot of people did hate it.
And that is fine with me. It is not one of those games when it initially released that was supposed to be some massive AAA title. It's just one of those.
I think it was good for what it was, for sure.
Yeah. It's a cult classic. Yeah, it is. And
I think that term is a little overused, but
it could be, but it I have a very strong fan base.
I know.
And so with the sequel coming out, which I've played a good maybe 3 hours into, and apparently into a 20-hour campaign, so I'm very fresh into it. I am very much liking it so far, with the noir style of trying to figure out the crimes, and just the writing in it is so good. For anybody that doesn't know, Remedy Games, who developed the Max Payne series, or helped publish it, is behind this game as well. And there are some hints and throwbacks to Max Payne character, with a certain character in the game.
Even in one, you could see some kind of hints and throwbacks.
And the biggest thing for me is the dialogue. For anybody that knows Max Payne, knows how.
I don't think too many people like. You got to be straight up gamers to know.
Yeah, no.
You got to remember, this is on Twitch on Monday morning. Like, not everybody's fucking hardcore gamer.
Yeah,
like you.
I know, man. But I love Max Payne. I love the series. But the dialogue in Max Payne is so cheesy. It's good. It's like basically like I'm trying to think of an example. It's like I could hear the sirens wailing like a crescendo out my window. It's very.
What was the movie? Sam Miller. What was that movie that Bruce Willis was in? It was shot like a comic book.
Oh, is it? It's not called like Deadly Seven or something like that.
No,
is it? No, or set. No,
it was shot like a comic book. Fuck was the name of that movie?
Man, if we can do a quick,
it was based on a comic book.
Is it Sin City?
Yes.
Sin City. Yeah, that's right. He is. Oh, that's a dope. Those are dope ass movies.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying it's that style of talk.
Yeah. So yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And I just, as a huge fan of Max Payne, can appreciate just those little details that they threw in there for fans of their games. But anyway, he ended up saying, "Oh, I didn't like the original." And then I was like, "Well, hey, I played Apex, I've played Diablo, I've been, whatever I've been playing the last couple months." And he was like, "Yeah, this and that." And he was like, "You know what I have been playing a lot of?" And I was like, "Oh, what?" And then I knew already what he was going to say before he even said it. He was like, "Call of Duty." And I was like, "Oh." I was like, "Well, I've been playing that quite a bit too." And I said, "I'm having a blast with the new zombies mode." And obviously, for anybody who's been watching my stream,
that proves to you that Call of Duty is more arcadey.
Yeah,
they tried what they did was meld reality with arcadey. That's why I don't fuck with Warzone. It's too fucking arcadey.
Well, one of the reasons I don't like Warzone, and I'll play Warzone, I'll enjoy it. Call of Duty is not a BR game to me. It's always going to be just an arena.
You got to say what that is. So
a battle royal style video game where everybody's on the map and everybody has one life and teams, blah, blah, blah. Call of Duty to me is always been just the arena style arcadey military shooter with the medium sized to big maps and the smaller maps like Shipment and Rust. If you guys saw my stream, you saw me getting my ass kicked some games and hardcore Shipment. But that's what Call of Duty to me is at its core. And then I was like, I said, "Have you been playing zombies?" He said, "No, I hate it." So this guy apparently needs to get laid, which I'm starting to think. Yeah, but I said, "So what are you playing?" He was like, "Oh, I like, Wars." So he does like the BR mode in it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Hey, man, I don't mind playing it." I said, "But for me, Call of Duty at the core is going to be the original multiplayer." And even though I'm not a diehard zombies fan, and I've been having a blast with this version of it. That's what COD is to me, and it doesn't really go further than that.
Yeah, it's done. It's done for me.
And the cool thing about the new zombies mode is the community's really friendly, and I've been helping people the last couple of days. Just hey, can you help me out? It's like, hey, I know what to do, and I've just been having a lot of fun with it. So gonna continue that, but definitely gonna be playing a lot of Alan Wake 2 here in the next couple of days. It's really really fun. So check out the stream. Forever Dope. At twitchtv.com.
I thought it was forever_dope.
Forever_dope. Twitchtv.com.
Man doesn't even know his own fucking Twitch name.
I don't know who I am sometimes, Jared. I don't know why I look into the mirror. And anyway, let me stop. Compose myself a little bit.
Composed.
Compose.
I didn't really I was doing a lot of technical shit this week, trying to come up with more technical things, so I didn't really have too many subjects to talk about.
That's okay. No.
I'm sure you probably did a little more research than I did.
Yeah, well, there was...
I know a lot of people died this week.
Yes, unfortunately, there's a few people that died today.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And that is just life being life, and it stinks. And
I was... before one of our shows, I was... Not this show, one of the comedy shows, I was talking about that with a couple of the other comics. I forgot who died, but it was like, bro, we're at the fucking age where motherfuckers are going to start to go. And I'm a little higher in age than you, and I'm starting to see it. I'm like, yo, these are people that I fucking grew up watching type shit. And it's like, it just makes you think about your own, like,
mortality.
Yeah, it's like, fuck, man. I ain't got that. And you know what fucked me up one time? I was watching something probably on fucking TikTok or Instagram, and there you go, forever_dope.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate you knowing my stream when I don't.
Better than him. Speaking of that, all right, I got two things remind me to get back to.
Of course.
That. Yeah, so your own mortality and oh yeah, something that I saw that fucked me up one time recently. And it was like, depending on your age, think about what your favorite season is. And think about how many more of those you have left. Like, you only get one season a year. Say you live on the East Coast or in America. I don't know other places how the weather is, but we get all 4 seasons here.
Especially on the East Coast.
On the East Coast. Well, that's why I said East Coast.
Okay, sorry.
So you got 4 seasons, and you pick your favorite season. My favorite season, it's a toss-up between spring and summer. I like them for different reasons. But anyway, if I pick spring, for instance, how many springs do I have left in my life? Then you count. Say you have, at my age, 20 years left. You got 20 fucking summers left or springs left in your fucking life.
Yeah, when you put it
Some
like that,
wild
yeah,
shit.
yeah, it's wild when you kind of, what is it? Put the blueprint on your
Put
fucking
the
carpet.
numbers on it?
Yeah, put the blueprint down on your carpet like you're about to rob a bank, and just do the whole.
I don't know what that analogy is, but okay.
I heard it in a Nas song once, and
Man,
yeah, but
barely anybody that listens to us knows who Nas is.
I'm a big Nas fan. But what I was gonna say is, no, but you're right, and I kind of said it after the show last week, and thank you guys for joining us last week for the annual holiday special. Recently, and I would just briefly touch on this. A close family friend unfortunately had some tragic accident happen, and they're no longer with us. And this obviously is happening right around the holidays, and it's hard for everybody to some degree. And to Jared's credit, we are getting older, we are getting to that age. I'm sure you've heard somebody say at one point where it's like, hey, we need to start looking for an adult in the room, and you are the adult in the room. It's like, hey,
What?
put it this way.
I am not the adult in the room.
Well, yeah, I'm just using it loosely as a just.
If I need to take control, fine. I don't want to say take control, but if a situation is going down, yes, I will step up. But I am not the adult in the room. I'm sorry.
Well, put it this way: it's like if you're around a group of younger people. And when I say
Still
younger
not
people, yeah, and I would say, the teenagers to the early 20s, and then you're like, man, and you look at them, and it's like, man, you motherfuckers need role models, and then you think about it, and it's like, oh man, you're old enough to be that role model.
Well, the thing is, a lot of, and I find myself guilty of it. And I think again, this is an American thing. We don't really value elders like we should, or like we have in the past.
No, I 100%
people
agree with that.
don't respect people of older age. And I remember I had a buddy, one of my best friends when I was in California. He used to be like, just because you're older than me. Now, he wasn't telling this to me personally. He was just saying in general. I think it was on a social media post. Just because you're older than me doesn't make you wiser than me, which I agree with. But at the same time, if someone's twice your age, I think they're probably wiser than you.
I would like to 100%.
They've been through more shit than you. You might be smarter than them, but common sense wise, they know better.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
wisdom. There is a lot of wisdom and value that comes with age and experience and all that. And I'll be the first person to say, as a younger person, I've always, for the most part, been very, very well behaved. But when I was in my youth, I was a bit of a troublemaker. I was kind of rebellious, like most teenage guys are.
Every kid is, yeah.
And I remember when I would get in trouble, or my mom always used to tell me, RJ, especially if she was, pissed at me or done yelling at me, she was like, you know what? You're the cause of your own problems. Everything that's happening in your life, for the most part.
That's true.
And, I used to be like, put it this way. the older I get, the more I realize my mom was right about, I would say 95% of the things that I was just kind of adamant, like, nah, I don't care about that. Or, nah, that's not that important. Or, nah, whatever the case may be.
I don't want to get into a deep philosophical.
No.
We did that last week, and I don't know. I just want to keep it lighthearted for the new year.
Yeah. Are you guys swinging from a chandelier tomorrow night? If you are, take a photo.
No. I got to ask you off air if you're going to do something tomorrow, because I need to kind of know.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. I want to let Londa know, not Londa, sorry. Epic. This week I gave you moderator powers.
Oh, congratulations.
So, not that we really need it at this point, because everybody, y'all are cool for the most part. But when we get bigger or whatever, you have access to boot people if you need to.
We're rich and fucking famous, bruh.
Let's see. I'll take a pic and DM the Chandler photo to you. What Chandler? What do you mean?
It's probably a very disrespectful meme. If I had to guess.
Is it about Matthew Perry's the fucking drowning?
Jesus Christ! I mean, yeah, that's what happened. Unfortunately.
Oh, the there's toxicology reports came back and forgot what it said he was on.
So there was obviously
something in
the system.
Yeah, and the article, it wasn't totally clear that that's what he died from. He probably fell asleep, which a lot of celebrities do. They fucking get, like Whitney Houston got high and fucking fell asleep in the fucking bathtub and fucking drowned.
I think Elvis died in a similar manner too.
I think he was on the toilet though. Wasn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, dying on the toilet.
That's not the same thing. I'm talking. Let me finish my thought before you interject yours. So then, same thing with Matthew Perry. I don't know if it was ketamine or some other drug, but anyway, he ended up drowning because he fell asleep in the thing. And I don't know. If I have that much money, I think I'm gonna do drugs. I'm just gonna stay away from the hot tub. Like,
yeah. I don't think I would put myself in any, and nobody does it, obviously, is doing this intentionally, but I don't want to put myself in
ketamine,
quote unquote, harm's way if I am under the influence of something. And I know I've probably done that a billion times before, but obviously with age and experience comes wisdom.
Not necessarily, because it still ends up killing people.
Oh, it does. It does. No. And I agree. Sorry, I'm not trying to trip this cord up while I'm moving my feet. But it just, I don't know, man. I remember when I was a kid, those rumble strips they have on the side of the road for when you fall asleep? I didn't know what they were, obviously being younger. And what my dad used to do when obviously there's no cars around on the highway, he would just, mess with me and go over and, hear the little rumble. And I'm like, hey, what is that for, Dad? He's like, yeah, he said, in case somebody unfortunately falls asleep behind the steering wheel, it's, supposed to wake them up. And
I'll tell you this, those weren't always around my entire life.
No, and that was put there because of unfortunate accidents happening and people falling asleep behind the wheel, whether it's due to exhaustion, due to some level of intoxication, or whatever the case may be. And it just...
holy shit.
What is that?
Fucking Epic with the 25 gifted subs.
25 gifted subs. What a way to bring in the new year.
That's
dude.
what he said.
Yeah,
he said bringing in the new year. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
thank you, man.
Yeah,
dude. He's too generous to us.
Yeah, dude. We're going to have to really buy you something, or we're going to have to sacrifice ourselves. Or I'll do it. Jared can do the whole stabbing of my body if he has to. I'll allow you to do that.
I want to get, I want to give Londa a job. If you can find somebody that can do for free, obviously.
Yeah. We don't like to pay people around here.
I don't know. Maybe we can figure something out. But we need badges for subscribers, and we need emotes. So any of y'all, to be honest, anybody in the chat, if you can maybe find somebody who knows how to do that or whatever, or at least suggestions on what kind of emotes you want, or what kind of badges you want to be a subscriber, then yeah, let us know. Because we, like Epic said at the beginning, he was finally he got to 6 months. And usually when you go from 0 to 6 months, there you get an upgrade on your badge as a subscriber. And then I think it's 6 months to a year, and then a year to 2 months, and blah, 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 on and so forth. So I think we need to start kind of upgrading that whole entire thing.
And I think, and I hate to sound so cliche, man, and I know you're going to hate me, and I hate me for saying it, but it's new year, new us, all right? You know.
Yeah, definitely cliche.
Yeah, very cliche, very gay, and no, derogatory way whatsoever.
Except
but
it was.
It was. Anyway, no, but I think this year, 2024, is a big year for the show. I think it's a big year for me and you, just on a personal level. And
Speaking of that, I don't know if I told you earlier. What I told you, did I tell you on air or did I tell you off air?
You may have told me off air. Well, you might have been trying to tell me. You told me, but we were probably having
Yeah. So get your money right, motherfucker. Get that shit as soon as possible. It's only a few days, to be honest. You wouldn't even have to take that much time off of work. It's Sunday to Wednesday. And I'm just going because those are the open mic nights at particular spots that I want to hit. And Kill Tony's also on Mondays. That's when they record. So at least sign up. If you want to stick into the, do you know what would be funny if you came with me?
Yeah.
You signed up because you wanted to be in the room with me.
Dude, if anything, I would probably garner us more attention than you'd probably ever imagine, dude.
Oh no, for sure. If you got called up there and I didn't, I'd be so fucking pissed.
No, and what I was gonna say is I don't mind being. Put it this way. When we were talking about our, God forbid, our mortality not too long ago, Jared, and God forbid the event that I go before you do, I want you at my funeral to dress in all black, wear a hat, and stand at least 100 feet away behind a tree and watch from a distance, because I want somebody to think I lived another life. And everybody's gonna know it's you. But
Wait, what?
Yes, because I want people to think like,
That sounds weird, and it sounds.
well, we're going to need somebody to do it, because if they know it's you, it's not going to work.
What the fuck?
If anybody wants to volunteer out
We
there.
will hire a paid actor,
well,
motherfucker.
yeah.
Who's that? That's and I'll tell everybody that's RJ's gay lover.
Yeah, and you know what? If it'll lighten the mood, because I know funerals are not fun.
No, they won't lighten the mood. Motherfuckers be like, "What?
Yeah,
I thought I knew him."
Don't make it bad. It's probably already going to be. We will pay you to stand behind a tree 100 yards away from the service and make people wonder if we lived a double life. All right?
No, don't say we.
No.
This is your life.
I am going to do that for you,
This
Jared.
is your life and your life alone.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying. I saw it on the internet, and it sounded like a good idea. Just saying.
This is not going to work.
This camera. So
it works as a webcam. It doesn't work switching back and forth between cameras. Because I know they can see the fucking bloop bloop.
Yeah, the little bit of lag and delay in it.
Yeah.
It's a work in progress, folks. We'll definitely
It was a good idea to try it out, though.
We'll definitely.
The quality is great because it's an iPhone, but
it is. And speaking of iPhone, so do you know what I had to do? Do you know what I had to do this week? And I was so mad that
you gotta lean your big ass head into the fucking
dude.
in.
Dude, my cranium is massive.
There you go.
Fuck, it's not in the camera.
Can't even see you.
Damn it.
And I hate when you don't slam that fucking thing.
Well, that's the whole emphasis of,
yeah, but it fucks up the cameras. It fucks up the sound. Like,
my apologies. So you know what I had to do the other day?
What's that?
I've had the same phone case and same screensaver and protector for some years now.
Of all the worst things he could have switched the subject to.
You said phone and light bulb went off in my head. My giant head that I can't fit into the camera. I've been trying to salvage my case, my screen protector. It's old and worn. And I just could not keep my phone in my OtterBox anymore because some of the plastic was broken. It's from various reasons and falls and all sorts of stuff. So I go over to the Verizon store before I go to work this week, and I walk in there, and I'm like, man, I'm probably about to spend like $80 on this shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I go in there, and you know, you got the guys heading there, hey, buddy, how are you today? And I'm like, hey, what's up, man? Well, you know.
Go ahead, keep going.
And anyway, and this is not to be derogatory in any manner before I start. I was like, hey, man, I need a new phone case. He said, my friend, I have one for you. And I was like, there we go. So he said, what kind of phone do you have? And I pull my phone out of my pocket, my bare phone. It doesn't have the case on it anymore or anything. It's got the nasty screen protector I got on it. I said, I got this iPhone 12.
Exactly.
Is it coming off pretty bad?
Your presumption is correct. nigga.
And he said, hey, buddy. He said, I do not have the 12, but I have the 13.
Stop.
So he had the... Please don't cancel us. I swear I love that.
It's not us, motherfucker. You keep including me in your fucking wild ass shit. It's you.
Your face is the logo. Anyway.
Hey, buddy.
That should be the name of the episode, dude. Hey, buddy.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
Great Scott.
He has a case that's for the model that's just a generation higher than mine. And he said, hey, it fits. He takes it out, he puts it on. And I was like, you know what? I was like, all right, I'll get it. And he said, hey, man, do you want a new screen protector? Because he saw it. And
me and Londa are like both cracking up on that.
Dude, and I was like, you know what, man? I was like, fuck it. I was like, how much is the case? And it's an OtterBox, so I already knew it was going to be. He was like, hey, it's $49.95, man. And I was like, all right, man. I was like, fuck it. I need it. I need it. And
this motherfucker went to a Verizon store to get a fucking case. That's crazy.
It's okay. It's across the street. I'm sorry, man. I did it out of convenience. I really did. It's
you
not.
Could have ordered that from Amazon for $12.
Lesson learned. Anyway, so I was like, let me get a screen protector. He's like, my friend, I give you the best one. Stop. Yeah. Anyway, so he proceeds to go get a screen protector, and he says, this is the very best one. Of all time, trying to upsell me on it. I was like, all right, dude, I'll buy it. And I was like, hey, how much is this screen protector? He was like, oh, this? He said, it's $59.95. And I was like, so you're telling me this screen protector is $10 more than the case? And he said, yeah. And he opens the box, right? And it's got all these little alcohol wipes in it, microfiber pads and all that. And I was like, oh, that's what I'm paying for. And then as this man is
you
cleaning,
need those.
Yeah, well, which is fine. I understand it, but that's how they get you. So he's nice enough to obviously, well, he's doing his job, but he cleans my phone off, puts a new protector on, new case. Look, my phone really looks brand new. Looks great. After I spend $105 plus tax.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, after I spend $105, right?
Bruh.
On these two items. And don't worry.
That's what we need. Bruh.
Yeah, so
Motherfucker.
he was like, hey, do you have a charger? And I was like, dude, I said.
Oh, no. See, I you know what? I know what's happening. Because I used to do that. Hold up. Before you try
to get into my brain,
no,
Jared.
before you try to defend yourself, I used to sell cell phones and accessories and all that shit. He didn't even do no work.
Oh, I know.
You know how much he probably got paid off of that shit?
Which is fine with me. I need.
He probably made. I'm gonna be generous. I say 30% off of selling those accessories, because all he did was ask you, and you were like, you know what? I do need this.
He didn't sell me a charger. I literally went in there for a case, and
I was about to get one though.
Dude, I have a supercharger, bro. Like my phone charges in like 20 minutes. Like it's
okay, that's fine, but you still fucking paid $105 for a fucking case. You could have got it for $12. That case that I use on that's the same case, not the same exact case, but when I upgraded, I went to the same company on Amazon, because the old phone never broke. The only issue I had was ironically, the glass screen protector that's on the front, that's cracked.
Yeah.
And then I lost the fucking second one when I moved, so I don't even, now I got to go buy a fucking second one if I want to but it doesn't affect anything, so it's like, fuck it.
Yeah, no.
But that fucking, the only reason I would replace that case is because it's dented up from dropping it or whatever.
Yeah, no, and in the quality of and I know you guys can roast me for the dollar amount I paid, which is fine.
You're roasted, because actually we did the math, me and Epic, just in this very moment, because $9.99. Well, if you got Prime, there's no shipping, and you could have got it the same day. So you could have got $10. You could have got a fucking case.
All right. Well,
or even a fucking glass protector. $20 at max.
all right. Well, lesson learned.
Crazy.
Yeah, no, and I already knew what it was. So, but
You knew you wanted to go in and spend $105.
I just kind of figured it was just kind of, I just needed it at that moment. I needed a case, dude. I didn't have it for a couple days. My phone with the glossy, material the phone is made out of. I was just like, fuck it. I'm with the little bit of holiday bonus money I have left from work, I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to go ahead and do it.
The little bit of holiday bonus money you have left when you could have just went on Amazon.
Well, it's fine. I mean, it is what it is, but that's what I did. But my phone looks great. And
it looks like a phone with a case on it, guys.
It's fine. It's fine. It's completely fine. But that was what I wanted to share with you, that I went out and I went to I spent $105 on a case and a screen protector, for the love of God.
So how did he tell you to leave the building? Like when you left, what did he say?
He said, well, I was trying to be, personable, me, talking to everybody the way I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just making conversation. And then his friend comes out of God only knows where, the back, I guess. And he said, hey, man, where are the hot girls? And I was just like, well, that is kind of a weird thing to say to somebody you don't know. And he just told me, and I was just joking with the guys. I was like, oh, yeah. I said, with my brand new phone, I can get all the numbers. I was just talking really, if you would have laughed at me if you would have seen me. I mean, not that you don't do already. But anyway, I just wished them a happy holiday and a happy new year. And that's all I left.
What'd they say, though?
They said, thank you, come again. That's exactly what they said. Anyway.
That's a little inside joke for me in the chat.
Yeah. So,
there you go, Londa.
The views of RJ are not the views of Jared here on the Mad Scientist Lab podcast. Just want to make everybody aware of that before, God, I wake up tomorrow morning and...
Yo, I'm clipping the fuck out of that one. And I got to make sure I get the chat in there. Oh, my God.
But I left, went to work, went about my work week and all this other stuff. And one of the responsibilities I've had the last 2 weeks at work, I've actually been training somebody, like somebody who's literally been shadowing me. And I'm doing a bang up job. I'm doing a great job training somebody. Very proud of myself. I still got it. Still got those training skills and capabilities. Those leadership skills, as they like to say, Jared.
What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm just saying I'm just doing a good job training somebody. It's the first time I've trained somebody in a long time. That's
okay.
No, I'm just pretty happy about that.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh, man. So what did you watch for Christmas, Jared?
I didn't watch any of the bullshit. No, I did watch Trading Places. Can't get that shit out of my head.
I watched football, and then I actually ended up watching the Batman again.
Yeah, you told me.
Before the show. And if you guys haven't seen it yet, the new Robert Pattinson, the Batman movie that came out.
Pattinson?
Pattinson, yeah, you're right. That came out, was it earlier in the year or was it last year?
I think it was last year.
Yeah. It's on Netflix.
It might be 2 years ago at this point.
It's on Netflix. I highly encourage everybody to check it out. Really, really good. I really like the, noir style. So 2020. So it's a year. So a year ago. So it's a little over a year old. And now that I think about it, I still can't believe Colin Farrell is the Penguin in that movie. He just doesn't look like him, does a phenomenal job.
Well, for me, that kind of reminded me of when Tom Cruise played that guy in Tropic Thunder.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll be 100% honest. The first time I saw Tropic Thunder, which is one of the greatest movies of all time, which you probably couldn't make these days.
No, you can't.
Which a lot of comedy movies you can't make these days. But I didn't know it was Tom Cruise at first. And you know how big of a Tom Cruise fan I am. Like when I watched that movie, I didn't recognize it. I would not have thought that Tom Cruise would have even been in that movie.
Yeah, and that's one of those very and certain movies have done it over time, where you get one major cameo from a big star that's not advertised for the movie in any capacity at all, and it's like, oh shit. It's like what was that? It's like Interstellar. When they find Matt Damon on Mars. When Matt...
that was a surprise.
Yeah.
But Anne Hathaway, there was a bunch of people in that movie.
Yeah, there was. But when I first saw Matt Damon,
By the way, can I say, I need to say this. Anne Hathaway is one of the most slept on beautiful women in the world. That's
She's
what I want to say about that. That's all I have to say.
She's very beautiful. She's very talented, and she seems like just a very wholesome person. Character means a lot as you get older. You know, anybody can have a pretty smile and a nice body, but character counts a lot.
Yeah,
it does. It does. And we might
yeah,
not
there
have
was
always.
a lot of big names in that movie. Interstellar was a pretty big budget. Fucking, actually, he just retired from acting. I can't remember. He was
Michael Caine?
Yes, Michael Caine.
Who is a phenomenal actor.
Yep.
Yeah, we are so lucky to, and kind of going back to what you were talking about, seeing the people you grew up watching pass
We've
away.
seen a lot of the greatest, I think, actors of all time. I think, I don't know. Maybe because it's not that new. It's still kind of new. It's not as new as like stand-up comedy. But the film industry, I don't know. We got to be at least 100 years in.
Yeah, no. So no, that you just I honestly took the words out of my mouth. If you think about all the things that have changed in the last 100 years, or maybe just a tad more than that, a lot has happened. And ironically enough, man, we have been around for a good little chunk of portion of that. And we've seen the rise of the internet, the way everything changes in terms of entertainment and the way people consume information.
Oh yeah, entertainment is changing very rapidly right now.
I mean,
a content creator, here's what I recently have kind of been seeing a lot of people, because I try to look forward to I try to look at stuff to see what the next thing is coming. Like, you can't ever totally predict stuff, but a lot of people that I'm looking at are saying like actual content creation is like the next wave of entertainment. Because if you think about it, all the big studios are producing bullshit, nothing original. Like we were talking about last week, we're off of Disney at this point. Marvel is kind of ass. I'll check out Echo when it comes out.
Yeah.
I did want to talk about this if we get a chance. I don't think you even watched it, but What If has been, they've released one every day for the last week or so.
I didn't know the new season was out, so.
Yeah, it's out.
Okay.
First couple episodes, I was like, but the last, it's all the way up to 8 at this point. But they've been good. Now, I don't know if it's just because it's animated or because there's still some of the original voices that come back. Not all the original voices are back of every character, but the ones that you would like, you'd be like, oh shit, they actually came back. Like, that's, some of those are wild. Like Elizabeth Olsen, I thought she was done with the whole fucking thing. Again, another one of my favorites.
She is also insanely beautiful.
Yep.
Do you know what I was going to kind of dabble in?
Yeah, exactly, Londa. Everybody's getting tired of the superhero shit.
You know what I was going to dabble in just a little bit, and I'm going to butcher the name of this, but I know that Zack Snyder, what is it, Moon Rebels? That's
Rebel Moon. Man.
Rebel Moon, okay.
You mean dabble in it? You can't dabble in a movie.
Well, hold on.
I've watched it already.
Okay. What did you think about it?
I don't want to give you my opinion when you haven't even looked at it yet.
Okay, I think that obviously that's fair.
I don't know. Some people may have already seen it. I liked it. I will say this is just part 1. Part 2, they already put the trailer out, which comes out in, I think they said April. So let's put it this way. I'm looking forward to part 2.
Okay. That's good enough for me, because when I originally saw, and I didn't really read a review in full, I just kind of
I will say this, and I was talking, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, you're good, dude.
I was talking to somebody, not last night, maybe the night before. They were talking about Zack Snyder and how he's this great director. I was like, all right, he's good. I'm not fully sold on Zack Snyder, to be honest.
No, neither am I. And that's and I actually think that's kind of the core of why I brought it up, is because I feel a lot of his movies that he does is either gonna go over well with people. I feel people are always divided with his movies. There's never oh, hey, this is amazing, or, oh, hey, this is just completely garbage. I feel like his movies are always heavily divided. And I don't know if that's due to his style of directing, which I would attribute that to probably, and his method of storytelling. But what I did see briefly about this new movie that he put out was that that they were trying to make it very Star Wars-y and all this other stuff, and okay, and that's kind of what made me think. I was like, I wonder what Jared would think about this.
Okay, so I don't want to give you any. Yeah, you already been reading comments, so
very briefly, it was very brief.
What I will say, without giving anything away, there were moments where I was like, I'm getting Star Wars vibes. But then there was moments where I was like, I'm getting, I don't know, maybe Terminator 2 vibes.
Hey, those are good vibes to have. I'll tell you that much.
And then there will be moments where I'm like, all right, now I'm getting Stargate vibes.
Also very good vibes to have.
Not Stargate, the movie, the original movie, the
series.
The series.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was times where I was like, okay, this is just straight up fucking Nazi Germany type shit. So yeah, it's definitely a mixture of a lot of different things. It's not a copy of Star Wars. It's not a copy of anything that I just mentioned, but you see the influences of all that. Which at this point, you're gonna get influences, a space war type thing. You're gonna get, because that's what Star Wars is. It's about wars in space.
Space and wars, Star Wars.
If you get a futuristic thing where there's fucking wars in space, then that's what you're going to get.
And to your credit, Jared, I think we're at a point in time to where enough time has passed from a lot of these original releases of some of the things that you said for modern day directors to, I wouldn't say necessarily pay homage to, which they might be doing.
I want to get, keep going, but
yeah.
I want to, these guys are having a good, interesting chat in the but you want to pull it up.
Yeah, but just having, like you said, the little influences of, because I'm going to tell you, if me and you made a movie right now, all my favorite movies I would want to think of.
Okay, so you need to read chat. All right, so because this sparked the idea in my head.
All right, let's pull the chat up here. I'm here, guys.
Actually, I could probably
maybe just scroll through this.
Remember to do this. I want to, because I you guys had some good points in the chat, and I kind of want to bring those up. I need to copy this so I can put it over to the wide angle one.
Ooh, the Shawshank. Ooh, always I'm just sick of the films that have to.
Yeah, so he's talking about the far woke. Hold on.
And Epic is not too far off from the bill with that, because that is something that me and Jared were talking about last week, especially when it was revolving around, the whole Disney and just their whole kind of business motto for the last several years, and how they develop their TV series or their movies. I don't
think I can move the chat over there. Okay. RJ, you're just gonna have to excuse the shit on your face.
Oh
yeah. So Lana was saying, people are tired of the superhero movies. Then Epic was saying they need to do a true friendship film, not something that turns into a love story that just two friends doing something epic. I agree with that, and that sparked a something in my head where I was thinking maybe we should sit down and fucking, like, literally sit down and write a fucking script, maybe or at least a story where it's like a buddy thing, comedy, just for us. And we probably won't get picked up by anybody, but maybe we can figure out how to film it on our own. And you know what I'm saying?
Dude, you know what's fucking crazy is that I was rewatching, I should say, earlier in the week. I was rewatching, True Detective Season 3.
Which the new season's coming out with Jodie Foster, by the way.
I am fucking stoked, bro.
But back to your what does this have to do with what we're talking about?
Because of the buddy cop dynamic that Hayes has with what's his face?
I don't know their names, but yeah.
But I was sitting there, and it's the older white guy and the older black guy, and they're they're cops and they're buddies and they've been chasing the same case for like 30 years.
Yeah, but
And-
I want to write some original shit.
No. I know, but I was like, dude, me and Jared basically do this on a weekly basis.
Oh, well then fucking we're on the same page. All
Yeah.
of us are on the same page. We
Yeah.
we need to fucking sit down and like legitimately sit down and write all right, so or at least brainstorm, and then we'll start. Maybe you write something on your own.
I have a computer now to do that.
Yeah, and then I'll write something on my own. Then we come together and fucking figure it out, and then we'll either figure out how to shop it once the final product is done. We'll either figure out how to shop it, or we'll figure out how to do it ourselves. But I think that's actually not a fucking bad idea, Epic.
The Mad Scientist Lab is going Hollywood, baby.
Hey, Mad Scientist Media,
Yeah,
still coming. Wait, Hollywood, fuck Hollywood.
Yeah, we don't want.
That's the problem. That's what we're talking about. Hollywood is the problem.
Yeah, dude, fuck Hollywood, burn it down. All right. As I like to say up north.
So he was saying maybe another Harold and Kumar type movie. Yeah, but again, that's I get it. No, I get it. I wouldn't mind that vibe, but we're still trying to think of something along the original. And actually, now we're talking about it, and I'm brainstorming. I don't want to give anything away yet. Shawshank Redemption would be nice. We're not doing Shawshank.
Dude, if put it this way, if I had to be Tom Hanks and Jared had to be Michael Clark Duncan,
that's Green Mile.
It is a Green Mile. Holy shit! I'm
Jesus
talking about
Christ.
Morgan Freeman and Tim Robbins. I'm so sorry.
Which hot take? Movie sucked. I'll just keep moving.
Please.
So let's see. Oh, he hasn't seen in a long time. Harry Potter is literally Star Wars. I don't know if I totally agree with that. I'm not a Harry Potter fan, so don't think I'm defending it. But
No.
I don't think they're the same.
I will defend the witches and wizards of Hogwarts.
Oh, I know what you're saying. You're talking about that. There's a comedian who did a breakdown of it. Yeah. From that point of view and that angle, yes. What the fuck? Where were we at? Forever Dope says he likes donuts. Why would you put that in there? I'm just saying something that a couple buddies on an adventure that doesn't turn into a Brokeback Mountain. Okay. So this goes back to the far woke comment that I think I missed. I agree. But that's why, again, you have to cut Hollywood out of the entire situation.
Indoctrination is going on.
Well, I mean, I guess that could be the word. But that's not. I would probably equate it more to propaganda.
Yeah. I just like indoctrination.
Or just corporations just trying to appeal to everybody, so they look like, again, they're part of the woke. But then, so that's and I forgot to write the shit down, but that's what my kind of definition is. So you have the woke. The woke originally started from before BLM got to this big thing. It was like black people being aware of the hardships and the shit that goes on in America. So I was like, oh, he's woke. Like, oh, I know about Christopher Columbus actually coming here and fucking Native Americans up.
Yeah.
But this is years ago. Like, I'm not even talking about the last 5 years. This is probably 10, maybe 15 years ago. So that's when the woke term started coming up. Not exactly when, but that's part of it. But then it got to this whole really super far left thing. So, and to be fair to everybody who, whatever you might be, I don't give a fuck if you're a Republican, a Democrat, conservative, liberal. You have it two extremes on both, or any end. So you have the far left, which is the far liberal people, and then you have the far right, which is the extreme conservatives, which both sides have been proven to be very dangerous.
Of course.
Then you have the people who think they know better than everybody else.
Oh, yeah. I know those people.
And those are the extreme of the extreme, not left, not right. And I wouldn't even say moderate, but they're like in their own category. That's what I call the far woke.
Yeah, they have some.
They're
sort
more
of,
lit. They're more left leaning. They're like, but in that top. If you looked at it as a square on a grid, they're like in that top fucking corner. If we're doing fucking, you're not on camera. Think about it as a grid, like when you're in math class where you have what's it called? Linear equations.
Yeah.
So you have 0, -1, -2, -3, -4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That. Then same thing up and down.
Yeah.
On each axis.
Mhm.
Now, if you go, what is that? That'd be right. So I want to go -10. Let's say everything's 10, 0 to 10. Be -10 to whatever some plot is off the chart.
Yeah.
Toward the top. That's far woke.
And it's kind of nuts, man, because there was obviously recently in the last couple of years the huge emphasis on
Yes, Londa gets it. Woke, no. Far woke is negative digit. Yes, 100. Well, yeah, I guess that could be. Well, it could be positive down to. Yeah, you're right. But that, yes.
It just stinks because I think we as a general public we're seeing it happen. We're watching it like literally unfold in real time in front of us. It's like we're watching a TV show one day. So my one of my coworkers, she's awesome. She's a mother. She's got I think a 2-year-old, 2 or 3-year-old.
Yeah, everybody gets it in here.
And the conversation came up somehow at work about what kids consume nowadays in terms of television and what they're taught in the classroom, right? And she said, "Hey,
But they're not necessarily on television at this point. They're on their iPad, so they're only getting what they get off of their iPad."
Yeah, well, iPad would just however a young person consumes media now, whether it's an iPad, TV, iPhone, whatever. She was basically saying, "Hey, there's a show that I let them watch, and I watch it with them." And she says the reason I watch some of these kids shows with them is because there's little subtle hits in there of things that are just really not okay.
Now, you say that, and she says that, or they say that. I don't know if there was a female or a male.
It was a young lady, yes.
Okay, they say that. However, it's always been that way. Just think about the stuff that, like, you go back and watch an old Looney Tunes cartoon, which I love Looney Tunes even to this day.
Yeah,
but there was some questionable shit, like
very racist,
a little bit overly sexual, like Pepe Le Pew fucking basically raping.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that. And no, so I actually had kind of the same thought process you did when she was saying this. However, I don't think she was so much regarding, I think she was talking about in terms of they, them, the whole gender equality thing, the LGBTQ.
Oh,
some
yeah,
of the
yeah.
more subtle things that were being pushed in the show.
I will say this. I have a few friends who have kids. I'll just leave it at that. And they have expressed the same type of feelings, like they don't want them to watch certain stuff just because it's like, yo, why I don't want my kid to see this.
Yeah.
But this is supposed to be a kid's show. So I've heard that from quite a few parents. To be honest.
and then I think about it, and I really I don't try to overthink this this subject in particular. I really don't. I don't spend my days looking out the window like, hey, what is this? What is that? But to your credit, Jared, there are things that we grew up watching that had very undertone, subliminal kind of messages in them. But I feel it's a little different nowadays. And when I say that in the sense is that people being doing whatever they want to do in their personal lives has been going on for as long as time has been going on. It's obviously more out in the open nowadays, which is fine. It is. But we can clearly see anytime we turn a TV show on now or whatever it may be that they're, like you're saying, the far woke agenda is being pushed.
Don't use that. Don't use agenda. Just say the far woke.
Just the far woke
Agenda always it always, people will take when you say agenda negatively.
Yeah.
So don't use that. I'm just, to figure out how to navigate this whole thing,
Yeah.
use shit that they can't battle you with. Like, oh, it's about the agenda. What agenda is there? That'll be the argument. And
All right.
I didn't mean to do any specific type of whatever, but there's already a talking point against using that word.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying not to use the word, because you can say whatever the fuck you want. But what I'm saying is, when you're trying to make a point,
in the context of which it's used.
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Just be careful with how you use it.
No, but you know what? You kind of enlightened me there, and I kind of knew it in the back of my head, but you're right. If you do go up to somebody and say, hey, this is a part of it, you're just asking for trouble.
Yeah.
And so I agree.
Because they're going to have an immediate talking point. Again, like I said, the far woke will have an immediate talking point to fucking counter what you just said.
So it all boiled down to her basically saying she was watching this show, and I can't remember which one it was. But basically, a young boy came out in a dress and was telling their parent.
Yeah, we don't need details.
Yeah. But basically, oh, I want to be this, and then she was like, oh, nope, I am not subjecting my kid to this. Turned it off. And she was like, hey, I don't want to be an anal parent, but she was like, some of this stuff is just a little suspect.
I agree. So there's two sides for me on this one. There's the free speech, freedom of press thing.
Yeah.
Which I agree with, especially as a comedian
Mm-hmm.
and as a podcaster. I agree. You should be able to say what you want and put out what you want and whatever is. Also, if you're a parent, you should also be aware, no matter which direction it is, whether it's you don't want your kid to see what you were just saying, or you don't want your kid to see gun violence or whatever, it's up to you at that point to steer them in the right. And what she did, I feel, again, I'm not a parent, so I don't know, but I think she did the right thing. By not, because she didn't want her child to be subject to that. The only thing that I would see with the issue would be, I don't even think it's an issue, to be honest, because if you're unaware of it as a kid, it's not really your fault. Like when you go to school and then the school starts trying to push that type of stuff, that's when, and I've,
Oh, this is a very layered conversation. I like this.
There's a few different layers to it, because
I like this.
I've again, kind of back to the beginning of woke. I remember my buddy has actually been on the show before a long time ago. He needs to come back on, Tony. I remember he was talking about to his about the Columbus stuff and like what he was teaching his son at home about basically what black people go through in the country or the history of things, and telling him like, okay, this is blah, 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 but the school's saying something different. And then he got called in because his son voiced what he was teaching him at home. He calls him in, or the teacher called him to the school. He was like, you can't tell him this. And he's like, wait, what? The fuck you mean I can't tell him? It's like, I can't tell him the truth. I can't teach him what the truth. Well, this is because, again, that whole
it disrupts the program.
Kind of,
yeah.
But the whole propaganda machine that's being pushed out there is the issue. But this is this is the same thing when it comes to the Florida thing with what's his fucking name, DeSantis.
Yeah,
and how he was trying to get the what's the trying to ban certain books and talking about you can't what was the critical race theory stuff.
Yes, I do remember that was a pretty.
This is the exact same thing as that. It's like, whoa, I can't teach my child the right shit, or not. I don't even want to say it may not. I don't know. It's hard to say whether it's the right shit or not. But
well, I will say this, and when I was in school, and I know obviously when you were in school, we grew up in a different time. I really only remember one time.
Let me work on it, Nepic. I'll get to it.
I really remember only one time. my dad, we went to, him and my mom came to the parent-teacher conference. Everybody in elementary school knows they do it every year. Hey, this is how your kid's doing, let you know. And I remember, no bullshit, and my teacher at the time, she was a good teacher. She was nice. She was a little bit of a bitch sometimes because she was younger.
I don't want to use alt-right. I think alt-right is already has a connotation to it that is very negative. So I want to kind of, I don't think far woke has a negative connotation. I want to find. I think alt-right is way too harsh. That's a very fringe category. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I was just reading their comments.
No, you're good, dude. You're good. But I do remember one time, and my dad's always gone to these. He always came to these conferences. Took time off work to go with them. And I remember this was my 4th grade teacher. Again, she was a nice lady. She was a little bit of a bitch, but you're a kid. You got to be a teacher. But I remember we were sitting at the table, and the parents were talking, and I'm just sitting there thinking about playing WrestleMania 2000, whatever. And when we're walking out in the parking lot, my mom was like, "Oh, I thought she was pretty nice," and my dad was like, "No, I didn't like her." And my mom was like, "Why?" And he was like, "Well, one," and it was kind of weird for me to hear my dad say this, just knowing the guy that he was. But he said she was chewing gum the whole time she was talking to us. Yeah, and he was like, "That's unprofessional." He said, "I don't like that."
This was a teacher?
This was a teacher.
Oh yeah,
she was chewing gum while she was talking to my mom and dad, and she was very sweet to them. Don't get me wrong, but my dad was like, "I don't like her." She was chewing gum, and she was like, "This is about
now to judge her entire character on the fact that she's chewing gum. That's a bit much.
Well, you didn't know my dad, so
I think from what you've told me, I kind of understand where he's a blue collar guy, and even you said like it's American.
Yeah,
he drank Budweiser, and no, I get it. Trust me, I get it. He was a factory worker, right?
Yeah, and
I'm more aware than you think I am, RJ.
And I didn't really understand that at the time. With the way my dad, he was like, "Nah, she was chewing gum."
He has a point,
yeah,
but I wouldn't judge her entire character on that.
No, and I don't know if he was doing that at the time. Maybe he was just obviously. That's the only time you ever met her. So they say first impressions mean a lot. So I don't know if he was. And knowing my dad, I know he was a very complex thinker too. I know he wasn't like, "Oh, this woman is teaching my kid the wrong thing." Sorry, I was about to go that route.
I know.
Yeah.
But
I'll just never forget that. And it's
but
like
you think you're the same way though. You may not come off it all the time, but you're a complex thinker, and you're very self-aware, which I think is very lost. A lot of people are not bro. I went through some shit. I don't want to say went through some shit. It wasn't nothing like crazy, but
you need me to get the Draco and blast these motherfuckers for you, Jared.
No, it's not worth it. I got my
You considered it.
I got my just. No,
Give me the blicky.
We're going too many directions.
Sorry, I just wanted to do that. Please continue.
So something. First, let me. God damn it, RJ, you fucking throwing me.
I'm sorry, dude.
So it's funny that the Epic said this. He was like, "I bet she told you, RJ, that you had ADD." I don't know. Here's one thing.
Probably did.
I told you. I still think you do.
I am smart.
However, I've been diagnosed with it, so I know, and I've studied about it, and I know how I am. Like you can see it sometimes, especially on this. Like it just happened 2 seconds ago. My brain just, and then I'll forget what I was doing on the last thing, and I have to rewind. It's a whole bunch of shit that goes along with it. But then there's also people who say that black boys are diagnosed with ADD or ADHD far more than white boys as kids, just because for whatever reason, maybe behavioral issues, the school system doesn't want to deal with them in whatever way. So they put them in these classes away, so they're not. But
we got layers to this shit.
Hold on, that's 100, bro. I've been through this shit, so I know. So then, and you know what? And I think about it like this: I would rather have been in those classes because it was fucking boring sitting in those fucking regular classes with those fucking regular dumbass. I won't say. I'm sorry. Let me rewind this back a little bit. With those regular Andes in fucking English or math class, and they're all sitting looking at the teacher
Like in my Crayola.
here's a fucking apple teacher. Like, you fucking 9-to-5 loser.
Yeah.
Fuck you. And I'm not talking anybody who's a 9-to-5er or whatever. I'm just saying, I have never been one to be able to just fucking sit for fucking 8 hours and do a fucking job. Like, that's why I do all the fucking shit that I want to do, because I want to get the fuck out of that fucking rat wheel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we don't like the fucking rat wheel.
I'm about to get on my fucking. Okay, so then Epic also said, I feel like I would have definitely gotten along with. Oh yeah, you would have definitely gotten along with RJ's dad.
Oh, dude, my dad and
I think we all would have, to be honest.
Yeah, dude, my dad was real cool. I will tell you the good handful of times I had some of my buddies over for the sleepovers.
And he sounds like a movie guy too. So.
Oh, dude, my dad was. That's why I'm such a big film guy.
Yeah,
Yeah. So my dad was really cool. He had his obviously moments as a person.
We all do.
But everybody that met him enjoyed him. And so it wouldn't. There's not a doubt in my mind that everybody would like hanging out with him. My dad was just a cool dude, man. But I do just remember that conversation vaguely, and I didn't understand it as a kid. But as I get older, you know, if you're, put it this way, man, like if you are, and we know some people, we are that age now where some of our friends are in the school system. They're actually, you were a substitute teacher, you know, where you're.
I worked with after school kids also.
And so, and when you're working with the youth, I mean, dude, your character and your overall demeanor has such a massive impact. And I'm going to give one and probably the best example.
I already know where you're going.
Yeah. Shout out to Coach Hill, man. Really. But think about that.
Episode 1 something.
Go
back and watch it.
Yeah, please.
We actually got it. We should get him over here again.
I don't mind. I will happily shoot that gentleman a message. But yeah, seriously, I don't think a lot of people, at least maybe when they're younger or maybe even nowadays, thinking they're a teacher, the impact they have on lives, and maybe that's why they get into teaching, to change people's lives. And
I'll tell you this: when I first started doing it, I liked it. I literally was thinking, because I was around all these other teachers, and I was asking them, like, what do I need to do to be this, that, and the other thing. At this time, I didn't have my master's degree, but I had my bachelor's, and it was like, yeah, you do this and that, and I wasn't making a lot of money at the time, so the money that they were making was, it was like, okay, if they can live on this, I can probably do it. So I was seriously thinking about being a teacher at one point, because I really wanted to do.
I thought about it too.
Obviously, which subject do you think that I was wanted to do the most?
I would have to say science.
Yeah, Earth science was the one.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of a given. If I would have said something other than that, this would probably be the last time you saw me on this podcast.
I wanted to do Earth science really bad. There probably wasn't any openings at the time where I wanted to be at, and plus I would have had to get certifications and all that. And then maybe PE, but PE is kind of wild because like you got to do a lot. Science, they just got to fucking be in class, and that's it. And then you teach them the stuff. But anyway, so there was a time I wanted to do it, and yes, you get into it because you feel like you think you can make an impact on the community. Like, oh, I grew up in this community. I think by me doing this, I can give back to it in this way.
Yeah.
But then I just started seeing like I can make a lot more money in IT.
Yeah, no, and it's kind of, and it's kind of sad that you say that, because teachers just in general are very, very, very much underpaid. And I look at it like this. It's similar. The pay wage is similar, although the retirement is pretty fire, from what I've heard. I think they've changed it since then, but it's similar to the minimum wage thing. Yeah,
how minimum wage was like until recently like fucking $7.25.
Dude, wow, dude. Oh, man.
And I was watching something today, and they were like, imagine you work an entire 40-hour week. After taxes, you make $40.
It's crazy.
That's fucking crazy.
So I'm glad you brought that up. So the young man at work that I have, who's been shadowing me for the last 2 weeks, his family is from Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's been all over the country. Comes from a kind of a military family. He told me, because we were talking about the cost of living out here, because he just actually came back from California.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, hey, my cousin out in bumfuck Wyoming, wherever, works a minimum wage job out there for $8.50, something like, or whatever it is out there.
Whatever it is.
Yeah. He was like, she's got her own apartment, she's got her own utilities, all this other stuff, and can basically live her life off of the whole minimum wage.
Well, that's Wyoming. There's nothing out there.
Yeah,
There's no people out there.
Yeah, I get that. But
there's probably no internet. Unless you get a Starlink from fucking Elon.
Put a rod in the air and hope
no,
for
you
a
can
fucking
get
signal.
Starlink. You can get. That's the whole reason he's doing that whole thing.
And it's just crazy because there's so many expectations from the general public to like, hey, go to work, slave away, blah blah blah, this and that.
Well, again, that's again what we were talking about with the fucking schools. Like they're building the 9-to-5ers, to go out and do that exact thing. Like you fucking graduate college or high school, go to college or not go to college, find a job, either way, and you work that job until you fucking, at this point, die because you can't afford anything.
It sucks, dude.
Yeah,
so that's why this podcast is not only the best podcast in the world in North America, and yes, soon to be Cuba. You heard it here first, folks. It's very important. It really, really is. That's why we're going to continue to do the podcast. We're going to keep doing the podcast, and we're going to keep going and going and going. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, as I like to say here on the Mad Scientist Lab podcast.
Being a teacher depends heavily on the state they live in. Kind of. I kind of agree with that.
It's
but
still
I look
an
at
underpaying job.
I'll put it this way. When I was looking into it, being a fresh teacher with just a bachelor's degree, you'd get paid the same amount as a police officer in this county. I'm not going to name the county because that narrows it. You know where we are, but that narrows it down.
It's kind of wild, dude.
Yeah, it's not a lot of money. We got the fucking battery's going low on that show, so we're going to have to shut it down here pretty soon.
That's okay. That's all right. I mean,
I'm going to take a trip to Cuba and listen to so you guys can have that. Oh, no. Well, that's RJ's thing.
It's put it this way. I'll know we made it if, say, one day, 10 years from now, I'm on a cruise, near Cuba, and I can see the horizon of Cuba from the boat, and then I can just see on somebody's yacht that they have out on the Cuban shore a flag of the Mad Scientist Lab logo on their boat. I'll know we made it. And that's the goal, folks. That's the goal. At least for me. Jared's is probably a little different than mine, but, that's what makes us work.
Wrap it up, B.
And wrap it before you tap it. It's a good motto. Anyway, so before we end the show, we just want to wish everybody a very safe and happy New Year. Do not drink and drive. Get that Uber. Have a good time. Thank you for making this podcast awesome.
Smoke all the weed. No, don't do that.
Yeah, I mean,
you can if you want. I don't give a fuck. Do what you do.
Do what you do.
Hopefully, RJ will fucking get his shit straight and we'll be in fucking Austin, Texas at the end of January. See, as he drinks his drink, that means he's not.
As I drink my drink. No, but it has been a wonderful year celebrating another great, epic year of the Mad Scientist Lab podcast. We are looking forward to a phenomenal 2024, putting our best foot forward. And as always, please like, share, comment, subscribe. Be safe. And we will see you guys next week when 2024 arrives. Peace.
Hit you so hard you won't see nothing. Ever, 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 ever.
Audio skulls all day.
The merit scientist lab. The merit scientist lab. The merit scientist lab. The merit scientist lab.
You can't have an opinion on something that you haven't even tried.
Exactly.
The merit scientist.